UFC 178 at the MGM Grand next weekend will mark Cutman Jacob Stitch Duran's 13th year of wrapping hands and stopping bleeding in the UFC. In this second of a three-part series, the Henderson man shares moments with fighters that made marks in both of their careers. A warning, some of them are bloody. Despite the duties Stitch takes on,
I've had fighters where I sit down, I start wrapping their hands, and they start crying, just like babies.
He is not a psychologist.
But I understand. I've been there.
And don't call him doctor.
People say, hey, doc, they call me doc. And so, you know what? I'm not a doctor at all. I only have a high school diploma. Not because I was stupid, just because I couldn't afford to go to school. But I have good common sense.
And this Cutman's common sense can be crucial to a fighter's career.
I've made a lot of money for a lot of guys. I've kept them in the game, and I've given them that victory, that one more round.
An example, September 2007, light heavyweight Forrest Griffin's first fight.
It cut me. I still see it.
Against Mauricio Shogun Rua.
I used everything that I had. I mean, I pulled the Avitine out, the adrenaline out, and I plugged up the cut, and we're looking at the fight, and the first minute he's not bleeding, and second minute he's not bleeding.
And that fight could have been stopped in the third round, and then it's a no decision, or they go to the cards, and maybe I don't win, don't get the biggest win in my career.
But there's one battle where Stitch's expertise was no match for the wound.
Probably the bloodiest fight I've ever worked.
October 2005, welterweight Jay Huron.
He hits me with a knee to the head.
Versus Jonathan Roulet.
Blood was all over. I would grab the guy and I would slip off him, He was red, I was red, it was just the blood was everywhere.
I put the Vaseline and I covered up perfect while the blood leaks right through it, just like a dike. And okay, we got a little bit of an issue here.
A doctor stopped the fight.
The cut was just too deep.
Huron lost by technical knockout.
Jay Huron is part of my history, and I'm part of his history.
But bonds over blood don't define Stitch's interaction with fighters. Time spent before and after wins and losses sticks with him. May 2014, Stitch worked with TJ Dillashaw, the heavy underdog in his fight against Renan Barao for the Bantamweight World Championship.
I said, I just see you as the mongoose, with the Cobra. The mongoose always wins. Cobra might be a pretty bad guy. I said, I got to take a picture of you because this is probably going to be the last picture of you not being a world champion.
And it was. Naturally, not all fight flashbacks are happy. August 2013, Shogun taps out in the first round against Chael Sonnen. Shock shook Shogun. He sat on the octagon floor in disbelief.
I saw nothing but heartbreak in Shogun's face, and I just sat there and looked at him and let him go through that moment, and then I cleaned him up for the cameras.
But the most recent heartbreak Stitch experienced, July 2014, the featherweight fight Bj Penn versus Frankie Edgar 3. Edgar opened a cut above Penn's eye. Referee Herb Dean stopped the fight. Edgar won. Penn retired.
BJ says to me, he goes, Stitch, I shouldn't have been here. I shouldn't have done this. I said, well, BJ, you're a warrior. This is what you do. He goes, yeah, you're right. And then we bumped heads. And I know what that meant.
Knowing what fighters are feeling, providing credibility to Stitch's actions and words.
Don't worry, I'm here to take care of you.
A quality Stitch prides himself upon, and one that distinguishes him.
When they give me a hug and give me a kiss and tell me they love me, I know I've done my job. That's a wrap.
Two boxers who've told Stitch they love him, the Klitschko Brothers. Stitch is their exclusive cut man. One of them recently vacated his title and became mayor of Ukraine's capital to fight pro-Russian rebels. We'll explore that next Sunday. Randy?